Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. We are slightly backdating this scene a little bit to the night previous, so fuck your morning. It's not morning yet. But we will be setting it on the Sept of the Green, probably centering on the Seeker's cabin, where, well, 10 Point's probably still out cold or close to it, curled up in Aiden's lap, in his arms, not keeping him from doing anything. In fact, probably curled up just against the front of his chest so his hands are still free. But yeah, the relief has been overwhelming. She's cried herself out long past. And yeah, is just exhausted. But the pair of them are out on the porch where any passerbys can see. Besides, it gives Aiden something to do, like yelling at people that walk past, because that's just how he is. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. Saoirse, as she's walking up, will hear, "Your sister's a cow," as he's as random kinfolk. As he's stroking 10 Point's hair.
Oh my god, I love that. So Saoirse, having left 10 Point for just a little while to go and do something where they've been the last couple of days, and notices she's fucking gone. So she goes to look for her. She's pretty sure she knows where she went, because it's not that hard to figure out. So yeah, she's walking up to the cabin. She's not walking. She's more like, she's walking with a purpose, like with a bit of a worried look on her face. When she sees 10 Point laying in Aiden's lap, the worry goes away in relief. She actually laughs when she hears Aiden shout to somebody, "Your sister's a cow." Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Take it the two of you have talked.
Oh, yeah. She, yeah, he'll look down at her, still probably like nestled against him. Yeah, we talked alright. He'll just nod.
That's good. I'm glad. I've been keeping her company and stuff, so she doesn't get too out there.
He'll nod. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, she's better. She's just, well, she's an emotional little thing, as he is stroking the side of her face where he nearly bit off earlier, but it's totally healed now.
Saoirse will nod, kind of fervently, as if she really knows how emotional she is. She'll sit down next to Aiden, and she'll kind of stroke 10 Point's hair.
Yeah, she'll actually see Aiden check the back of 10 Point's shirt as well and kind of let out a sigh. She's after fucking scourging herself by the looks of things.
She never did it in front of me, but I knew what she was doing.
Something Balin probably installed in her, I would imagine. It's a method of self-punishment. I know it's not my style. He'll just nod to himself as he's, paying particular attention to her back and just, examining it and stuff like that.
And yeah, her back has several times now been demolished and healed, but her shirt is completely shredded in the back. There's tatters of threads and stuff. It's not like she went and finally just broke it apart, but yeah, it's not in good shape, and it is like logged up, like it's effectively waterlogged, but with dried blood several layers over.
He'll just smile. He'll smile, and and she's not a bad old thing. She just needs to learn. That's all.
Saoirse will nod. She depends on you a lot.
She depends on all of us. That's her role. She depends on myself, Banshee, and Balin equally.
Saoirse, she kind of narrows her eyes a little bit, and she looks at Aiden. Last 2 days with her, you are the only one she's mentioned.
Really? Look, he actually will look quite surprised at that.
You are the only one that she was worried about hating her.
And oddly, Saoirse will see a smile emerge on his face. Cold and almost satisfied.
She does care about Banshee and Balian, but her connection with them is not nearly as strong as it is with you.
He'll nod. Well then, looks like my work here is done then. He'll look over at Saoirse with this half-cocked smile.
Just kind of looks at him like really shakes her head, but she does. There's the smile on her face, like she understands what that means.
She has to learn, Saoirse. She has to learn. And the lesson was a harsh one, but it'll make her better in the future, and that means she'll actually do her duty. That's all I want for her.
Hey, do you think she doesn't have a purpose? She's a wreck. She's a mess. Her to actually do her routine yesterday or this morning, but for sure.
He'll nod. At the end of the day, that's what she can do as a metis with us. It's the only thing they have left. I say very solemnly as he's, picking basically unknotting some of 10 points hair, like if he has a brush, he will brush it and everything. He seems to be taking quite tender care of her, actually.
How long are you gonna let her sleep?
She tuckered herself out. So, I don't mind. It's nice to give her actual care every now and again. It keeps the balance in her. He'll smirk a bit. And what about you? Have you been worried, have you?
Saoirse checks her hair. I think I might have a grey hair or two from her.
She gets on, the little menace gets under everybody's skin, I think, at some point. He'll smile. But
she just kind of nods.
As long as you're okay, he'll kind of, raise an eyebrow at her.
Oh, I am fine. I've been worried about her. And you too. But, after ours, I felt that it was alright to leave you and focus more on her.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. In fact, he'll smile. Or maybe something as he's, stroking 10 points there again and picks up the drink he has and takes a drink. So maybe something I might need you for, actually.
She looks and raises her eyebrows. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's something
What'd you got in mind?
Something me and Felix have been planning. We've had it in the works for a while. We're gonna assassinate Marissa Campbell.
Oh, that's lovely.
He'll smile at her. We've discovered her itinerary and we know she works out doing yoga in the Manhattan hotel. So we're basically trying to, Felix is going to go in, plan some things in there. And if we can use laxatives, if not the gym locker is big enough, for an adjacent bathroom. See, the thing I was thinking is we have a way to get in using janitors and bellboys outfits. But if that's by the ladies' room, we're going to need a girl.
Saoirse looks down at herself. Well, I think I happen to be one of those.
Smirk. Really now? Judging by that mustache, I thought you'd be a man. He winks at her then. He waits to be thrown. He waits for her to throw something at him.
What she does is she just lightly smacks his shoulder with the back of her hand.
Grins at her, And smiling.
Off this morning, I ain't got no mustache.
You grin at her playfully.
She winks.
Right. What I need, plus you're a Galliard. You can talk your way out of most things. And I was also thinking, you have that little thing, do you? You know, he points to the side of his head.
Oh, I can definitely do that. It would be able to communicate silently.
That's what we're thinking. Felix is going to disable the cameras, and we're going to go in. When she's in there, go all out, quick, quiet. We use the janitor thing, you know, the cleanup access thing. If we can walk out of there, we can. If not, we pop into the Umbra and get the fuck out.
Fun.
So I'm gonna mention it to Felix if you're interested. He'll raise an eyebrow.
Go on an adventure with you, yeah, and Felix too. I need to get to know him better, so this would be good for us, I think.
Good. I'll mention it then. I'll be chatting to him more about it later. So I'll mention that you're on board because we need a girl and we need to make sure we're watertight. And I have Grant's the new Arun taking pictures of her as well, so we know that she's coming in and out of there every day. So we're ready.
She'll nod.
He'll smile. Well, that's, you know, he'll smirk down at 10 point as she finally is coming in and out of consciousness, and we'll heft her up like father does. We'll plop her down on Saoirse's lap. I'll just get a new t-shirt for her. You know, it's probably 10 point Waken's been hefted, you know.
Yeah, that's about time she'll come more than just barely out of it. About time she's being relocated. And being half awake, she initially responds to being shifted with like the smallest initial telltales of alarm until it's like, oh, but that's Saoirse. And yeah, so there's an initial kind of wide-eyed look, and then she settles back down into that kind of half-awake, blissful state as she is shoved onto Saoirse.
Saoirse gladly takes 10 point into her lap and just her hair and things like that while Aiden goes and gets her a new shirt.
He will actually grab her one of his because fuck it, he's too lazy to look for her weird clothes.
They're probably up in a trunk under the cabin or something.
Yeah, he's too lazy. It's just pure laziness from Aiden here. So he'll come out with a New York Giants t-shirt and just literally whisper into 10 points here, I'm going to take that shirt off, you know, him.
There's a mild nod. Here's the funny part. T-shirt going over the antlers is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, he will kind of look at Saoirse.
Getting the other ones off easy. You just pull forward. There's not even a back to hold it together. It doesn't even have to go over her head. But all of her shirts are very wide-necked.
He's just going to take one look at the antlers and look at Saoirse. Well, it's a good thing I don't like this shirt anyway. You know,
to rip the neck. You might have to rip the neck of it to get over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, he just smirks to himself as he'll get his knife and just, you know, the edges, and then I will not aggressively, just very carefully, slowly, deliberately. You know, wincing as the t-shirt kind of rips at the seams of the antlers.
She now has a much more wide-necked version of the shirt. And yeah, she doesn't seem to have over much issue managing around her own antlers, and yeah, has zero issue as well with briefly being shirtless. So yeah, the other one pulls right off. The other is carefully worked down over the antlers and finally over her head. And she'll stuff her arms through the sleeves.
It probably looks hilarious because it's a bright black New York Giants t-shirt with bright blue, you know, logos.
It's definitely not her usual style.
Probably looks fucking hilarious.
No, it isn't.
Considering she's got on like old leggings and then like probably a couple layers of second, third, fourth hand skirts and whatnot, and then this ridiculous like logoed t-shirt.
I like it, 10 points.
She looks a little skeptically down at the shirt, but the shirt's a shirt, so fuck it.
You should wear that more often.
Saoirse's smiling. She thinks that this looks really funny.
You should wear that. You should wear that more often. 10 point.
Well, it's her shirt now, isn't it?
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
I mean, unless you want that off-the-shoulder look.
I know, I'm fine. I'm pretty enough as it is. So.
Saoirse full of sass today.
Aiden's kind of raising an eyebrow, like, "Oh, okay, shit, all right." You know, I see how it is. I'm pretty enough as it is, Saoirse. Don't you worry about that.
Meanwhile, Aiden has said he likes her wearing the shirt, so 10 point is like smoothing the shirt and checking the shredded bit around the collar, trying to figure out if she can salvage it. Taking this very seriously.
That's adorable.
10 point. If it wasn't for the antlers, I would have taken you to a Giants game just to see what your reaction would be. Smirks a bit.
You know, you can remove them long enough to take her to a game.
I might do, yeah. Do you want to go to a New York Giants game with me? 10 point.
And while 10 point doesn't even know what sport this team is for, she proceeds to immediately bob her head because it would be going out with Aiden.
Fair enough then. Maybe we'll make a play date. You look over and Saoirse smirking.
Saoirse nods. I'd come with you if you want. We'd get we'd have comfortable seats most likely.
Nod. Sorry, bring you. You're the aggressive.
There wouldn't be anybody within a few feet of them.
He
Like,
just need to look at Saoirse. That's why I bring. You're the aggressive one out of the two of us. They took one look at
she
you and they
just
went away.
starts more aggressive. Well, I mean, I did rip off the wing of a dragon.
I know you did. I wasn't talking about it. It's a tiny little height, and then you just hear the little uppity voice then from below them. They just don't know what to do. Smirk intensifies.
I catch them off guard. They're so
I
small.
know. Exactly.
She says
All I
that
hear is,
with
"Get
a
out of
little
me!"
bit of like, there's a little bitterness in her voice when she says that. Like,
Aiden just says very out loud, all they hear is, "Get out of me, seat!" You know?
10 point's
Saoirse
not
then
sure what's
punches-
happening, but the mind play is real. She has probably nudged herself more between them than in one particular lap, because who knows when someone's going to launch at this point.
Saoirse actually, she'll give Aiden, she'll reach over 10 point and give Aiden a very light punch. It's not an open-handed slap this time. It's a punch in the shoulder.
Smirk. That's what you sound like sometimes when you get that going. I try to take it seriously, but I just can't help. You know?
So you're saying that when I get angry, my voice goes high-pitched?
A little bit, a little bit. Smile. You get your face puffs up and you get all red, and then you start going, "Hey, Aiden!" You know.
She tries very hard not to like.
Not to do exactly
she knows
that.
that she wants. Yeah, 'cause she knows that that's the reaction he wants from her. So she takes a deep breath and she just smiles and doesn't say a fucking word.
He smiles back at her. You know. I know. You see, 10 point? She's now thinking, if I keep smiling, he won't stop annoying me. He'll stop annoying me. But she realizes, I'll never stop annoying you. You know, he winks at Saoirse, playfully sticking out his tongue.
Honestly, I think that if you stopped annoying me, I think you were mad at me and you hated me. So I'm glad for it.
He'll smile then. You're better. You take it better than Dallas bloody does. She goes mad.
Bitch. And then she covers her mouth like, oops.
In the like cough. Oh. All right,
an
then, miss.
arm in
Jesus. Jesus, Saoirse. I mean,
I'm sorry. I know that she's going to be your packmate, but she gets under my skin and not in the good way.
what she done to you? Kind of raise an eyebrow.
Well, I mean, she did try to have my packmate killed.
Yeah, kind of like, does the potato hand movement, that type of thing.
Let me weigh this out.
I mean, to be fair, like,
Although I was surprised she did call me for help the other day.
She did? What'd she call you for help for? It was actually
There
quite
was a
surprised.
situation.
A situation, Saoirse.
And I was, and
takes
she
a,
knew that
takes a step forward.
she knew that I lived in the area, so she called me because I would be able to get there really fast.
Oh, did something happened?
It turned out to be fine. There was something in the water by a lake over in Queens. She wasn't sure what to do with it.
Was she with her kin?
She takes a deep breath. She was with some friends, but I'm not exactly sure. They could have been her kin. I don't think I've ever met her kin.
I've met her kin. Not like I really met her kin. Because it's really far away. Look when he says that.
Saoirse goes, "Oh, really? Now, how well do you know her kin?"
I know one of them really well. She got way too fucking aggressive. She's way too aggressive.
Yeah, Fenris.
She was shouting at me. Oh, I don't know. I don't
Shouting
know
at
why.
you for what?
I don't know. She was like, apparently Dallas was trying to set me up with one before the wife came, and she got way too fucking aggressive, shouting at me and everything. I just panicked.
Well, that's definitely not somebody you want. Definitely doesn't mesh well with your style.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't think she'd be talking to me anyway because I kind of panicked. There's a smile at her.
What happened?
I punched her in the face.
Of course you did.
What? She came at me. I didn't know what to do. She got way too aggressive, like slammed me into the wall and everything.
You definitely don't need a relationship where you're going to punch your girlfriend in the face.
I didn't. It wasn't deliberate. I panicked.
Oh, that's why I'm laughing and I'm not mad at you.
Tim
I just imagine
over
the situation in my head
to Saoirse and proceeds to enlighten her to the fact that, oh, no, Dallas didn't set him up with anything. They challenged over his right to court one of her kin. I'm pretty sure they had a battle of, like, if I win, I get to date one of your ladies.
Oh my god. Saoirse just laughs. She just throws her head back and laughs. One of those good laughs. Like, great. That was so great. I'm trying to get along with her because I know that she's probably going to be in your pack.
She's not too bad. She's just smiled. She's just in a room. I say with a smirk.
Fair. That most Aroons I know are pretty aggressive would probably be the right word.
She's got a hot head about her, and she was apparently from one of us, so it explains a lot.
I know, I can tell. I wouldn't mind knowing the story behind that, though. Why she's get Fenris and not Fianna.
There's a few things, but that's for her to tell. I can't reveal all my secrets now, can I? You do this little hip shake.
Oh no, I'll ask her. I'll ask her. All I need to know all the stories.
Just do so gently. Say with this kind of like smile, like don't get into a fight, Saoirse.
Saoirse smirks. She's thinking, with all the training I've had lately, I might actually be able to take Dallas.
He'll just nod and smile at her, But yeah, no, she's a bit she's a bit interesting, to say the least. And as well, she's like you. She has the red hair and all the fire to back it up with it, but she does get the little angry pout that you two do. It must be a ginger thing. He winks again.
She gives a playful glare. Maybe that's why she and I clashed for too much alike.
Raya, was the thing by the water? Was that where she heard the banshee?
That's what it was. It was a banshee.
There's a little bit of a shudder, just the ugh.
Don't worry, we have all the appropriate preparations set here, so we'll be fine. You know, as he gestures out to you, can see she can immediately tell Tempo and him has spent hours making sure everything is spiritually aligned.
She'll nod. That's good. Because I don't know too much about them, but I know the ones that hear them are like marked for death or something.
They or someone they know?
Well, I didn't hear it, so I'm pretty sure that my kid is safe. But I had Alona check on them anyway.
She said that everyone she was with had heard it, and that afterwards, some man working at the carnival, she kind of glances over to Aiden, had a heart attack.
Mentioned some guy that had, yeah, mentioned that.
We were trying to come up with a way to evacuate the carnival if we could, but we couldn't come up with a solution that wouldn't break the veil. All we'd have to do is go pop Krynos and then everybody clear out, but probably not the best idea to do that in a place with a lot of people.
Not without a glass.
Because there are those. I mean, I could have called Teresa to come help, but we just decided to let it alone for now and see what happens. I don't think that I didn't hear of anything bad happening that night, so I'm pretty sure that everyone at the carnival was safe.
When one that they had all come to meet died, we can hope that that is the one the banshee wailed for.
She'll nod.
Just shrug. So, Saoirse, you kind of, you said you were stressed, yeah? A little bit?
A little bit. Had a... She kind of glances at 10 Point. I've been stressed the last couple of days.
10 Point affects a guilty look. Something she has been becoming quite good at the last day or two.
But, I mean, I had thought about asking to test out your shillelagh again, but I don't want to ruin the shirt you just put on her.
You want to go with You want to go with Mike Darcy, do you? Is he like, that picks up the shillelagh?
She takes a deep breath and she nods and she tries not to look excited.
For what it's worth, 10 Point has exhibited a good amount of dread as well over the last day or two. There's none of that at the moment. This is familiar territory and this is comfortable. And she, if anything, is kind of glancing between them and then kind of glancing off away from the cabin, as if trying to determine whether she should just start walking now.
He'll nod. Just be gentle with her. Darcy just gets a bit thirsty at times. He says it with a lot of like weird smile on his face as he hands her the shillelagh.
Be gentle.
Just
That's not a word I thought I'd hear you say.
Just remember, she goes for the juicy bits. Wink, wink. The sweetmeats.
I remember.
Then yeah, 10 Point kind of tentatively starts rousing herself up, working on getting to her feet.
Before she does that, Saoirse will reach over and kind of ruffle her hair.
This, if anything, gives her greater resolve to go ahead and get herself up and start kind of dutifully for the steps. And once she's at the base, she will glance back, see if both are following.
Yeah, he is. He's hands in his pockets, picking up probably actually 1 or 2 beer bottles with him. Not to you can tell they're full. He just stuffs them in his pocket and then, walks after Saoirse, whistling. It seems quite, whatever.
Oh yeah, Saoirse.
He's gotten that rage out of the system.
Saoirse had hopped up to follow after 10 Point with a little bit of a bounce in her step, like, and she's struggling internally a little bit, like, why am I so excited about this? She just goes with it. She doesn't. It doesn't, affect her too much. But if 10 Point took a glance back at her, she would see of conflict. But it's not overwhelming.
It can't hurt that her presumed victim is enthusiastically moving ahead of them and practically leading her there. Let's be honest.
That's probably true. That's true. She hasn't done this enough times to be used to it. So,
yeah, 10 Point may not amble as far as the training grounds, but she'll still get a good bit away from the cabins, still within a veil protected zone, and find a clear space. And then just kind of pause and turn back to the pair.
Just look at Saoirse. Ladies first there, Han. Since I already got my rage out of my system, he'll just give one glance over to 10 Point. I'm sure she has vivid memories of Aiden's. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but if Saoirse glances back and then forward again, 10 Point will just kind of be idly rubbing one of her cheeks.
she'll then take Darcy and kind of swing it around, getting her feel back for it. It's been a little while since she's used her. And she'll glance at, she'll look at 10 Point, and 10 Point can see this disturbing enthusiasm on her face. She doesn't see, like, it. Last time she did this, she was a bit apprehensive, and there's none of that this time.
10 Point is still definitely looking back and kind of weighing the ease or lack thereof to her taking the first swing, and kind of looks kind of readied, as it were. Not necessarily like braced to take a blow, but she's in her element.
And of course, I have no melee, so what to do.
It helps that
Roll
the
4
weapon
by
is
half
diff
the week.
5, so it only puts it up to diff 6.
Yes, that is very true. Hummingbird, I still have 5 dice to roll. So. Oh!
Oh wow! So I was planning to dodge. I'm not sure it's actually going to work.
Saoirse swings Darcy around for a moment, kind of circling 10 Point. When she gets to her backside, she rears back to swing, and she's not going right for the kidneys yet. She's just going for anywhere on her back.
Let's see how well she dodges, because I was not expecting you to do that well. Jesus.
Wasn't either.
She doesn't dodge at all. In fact, she looks like she's planning to do a thing, like be all clever about it and kind of get kind of get Saoirse's blood going a bit, and yeah, Saoirse just manages to get around, and maybe it's because she doesn't go particularly for the point that 10 Point expects, but yeah, she utterly fails to dodge out of the way, perhaps expecting a less expert swing and dodging the wrong direction or the like. But yeah, if anything, she kind of jukes Beckett into it. She takes a wallop. How much of a wallop? Eh? It is what?
Oh,
Strength +1? I can't remember. Torna, do you remember the
Okay.
stats for your own weapon?
+2 damage.
Okay.
+2 damage. Yeah, +2 damage. The 5 to hit +2 damage.
okay. Wait. So strength +2 +3.
Oh, Jesus.
That is 4.
Yeah, so she takes that
No.
first swing, 10 Points not thinking much of it. She kind of casually goes to juke, and almost immediately there's the hefty impact, a cry of startled pain from 10 Point, and the sound of at least one rib cracking on impact.
Yeah. So Saoirse smiles, and the look on Negan's face after he's the very satisfied. That's kind of the look that she gets, and she just lets out a oh, that was a good one. I thought that I'd be a little rusty, but I guess not. She just kind of like has that
Not at all, right? There's the distinct pop of it writing itself.
He'll grin at Saoirse. I think you can hit her harder than that, can't you?
Oh, I'm just getting warmed up. Don't you worry. And so this time she's gonna spend rage.
Point is going to whip around for this one just in case, because if she's doing that well, she does not need a free shot at the sweetmeats.
And yeah, she's just gonna go for anywhere again, especially if 10 Point
Make you
to
work
move
for it.
around. So she's probably gonna catch her abdomen or something this time. Only one success this time.
She's not dodging this time around. Saoirse clearly does not need any encouragement.
While they're looking at
More.
each other, Aiden
Just one more. So
is going to attempt to
soaked.
vanish.
Oh yeah,
okay.
not paying attention to him. He totally can. Yeah, there's a satisfying
That's
little
3.
thud, but not over much reaction.
Saoirse frowns.
Go roll some dick stealth.
That one
'Cause
wasn't
that's
nearly
1, 2,
as
3,
good.
so it's diff 9 if you want to try find Aiden.
But I spent rage, so.
Success.
No
She
successes
whiffs.
that time.
She got a little
Um,
enthusiastic. Darcy's heavy.
She got a little enthusiastic. That first hit was way too satisfying, and she got a little enthusiastic. Breath. And she's like, all right, slow down.
So
Don't get
while
too excited.
Saoirse's debating as Aiden has vanished into the light, this will be my ambush roll. So
Okay.
it's 2 successes.
Do you want to roll re-roll your stealth for the ambush to determine how many extra dice you get?
That's just what I did there.
Okay.
That is literally just what I did.
Okay.
So, and he will take aim. He's Aiden's a bold boy. And miss. They're thankfully to miss. So he comes out and swipes just probably as 10 point is looking down. Just misses with a cock to the face, and he just like growls in frustration.
And she will
Stupid fucking antlers. Just hear under his breath.
It's probably her looking aside or something, and he manages to like swing the fist by skimming it where her jaw just was. And so while she couldn't exactly dodge the shot she didn't see coming, she does kind of reel back a step or two in surprise. I mean, she feels the breeze off that.
Oh yeah, she does.
Eyes go a bit wide because he wasn't there a second ago. Suddenly he is in her personal space.
All right. Saoirse's gonna take that distraction to try and smack her again.
I'll give you a flanking bonus since her attention is on Aiden.
Yes. Do that.
So you're back down to diff 5.
3 successes this time. And so that's 6. Three.
Beacon. There's
So
just
while 10 point is distracted, just that moment, Saoirse fucking rears up, like, you know, she took that time to kind of recenter herself, and she swung back and catches 10 point right in the side.
Yep, and so 10 points got her eyes on Aiden, and suddenly they kind of widen, and there's a sharp woof of breath and pain as she jostles to the side from the force of the blow. And almost immediately, an arm's going to come down across the heavily bruised side.
And Aiden.
You can imagine there's a little more going on there because she'll kind of hiss her next breath.
What's the
Saoirse
diff?
smiles.
What's the diff to hamstring there, Katie? What's the diff to hamstring there, Katie?
Is that your one crazy move?
Yes.
Good man.
It's
Let
8,
me
isn't
look real quick. I think it's diff 8, but I think you need to have teeth or something. Special maneuvers. You have to be in Krynos, Hispo, or Lupus to hamstring.
Well then, fair enough. I would just do a regular kick. So that's I would take the 4 successes.
I'd totally let you do it if you had a blade, but
I don't have a blade, unfortunately. Yeah, they just soak 1.
that is not how many dice I have. There we go. It's soaked. So yeah, she takes the kick pretty readily. She's still kind of being defensive over the bruised side. Got an arm clamped down across it. Still got a bit of a pained expression as she's trying to wait out the knitting process.
But rear back and strike again. With 3 successes.
And yeah, at this point she's reeling back to try to keep an eye on both of you. Try.
2.
And so she is back up to 3 again. She takes a good thud. And again, there's kind of that wince and wheeze of pain. She doesn't transfer her protective arm, though.
She looks to Aiden. I'm gonna make a pretty good team.
Not too bad. Not too bad. He'll smirk.
Like this wicked smile on her face.
He'll actually smirk at her, you know, as he like ruffles 10 points hair, and he'll look back at Saoirse. You're not as vicious as I am just yet.
Of course not. I need more practice. But she definitely looks a lot more comfortable with it this comfortable with it this time than she did the last time.
He'll smile at her, walk over, and put his arm around her, like giving her a squeeze. It's not just about holding a weapon. It's about he'll look over at 10 point, like with raising an eyebrow. It's about her reaction every time she's going to give it. Assessing her. It's a good way to assess a BSD, actually. That look of fear in their face. And he'll wink at 10 point, because God, she remembers what he was like, literally about an hour earlier.
Oh, she remembers, and she's maybe at this point a little more leery of his assessment than she is of the pain in her side that is fading. She gives a final kind of brush of her hand over the previously heavily bruised side of her body, and then lets it fall again. Standing herself back up again.
Besides, so if you wanna train with us, Saoirse, he'll look at her quite smiling warmly. If you want to train, it's a good way to practice tactics in battle. That's what I find with 10 point.
I'll nod. That is a good idea.
Maybe you can bring her pack along. And he wink. She's walking over to 10 point.
I'm not sure that they would be as okay with this.
10 point is
he'll look
back
back.
upright.
Using a live target.
He'll look back. Alana wouldn't be okay. But she's from Silver Tower. As he's like roughing 10 point's hair, oddly affectionately.
She shakes her head. Nay, she's too soft-hearted.
Shrugs.
10 point, meanwhile, loses a bit of her kind of worried edge and kind of leans her head into the ruffling.
He just shrugs. I suppose, well, if Teresa smells like I think she smells, yeah, I can imagine she's not our biggest fan. Oh, Kuma. He'll look over at her, smiling more, like teasingly, because whenever Kuma gets mentioned, she loses it.
Saoirse just shakes her head. Fucking Kuma.
If he annoys her that much, you should bring him here and teach him. Is he your Omega?
I've thought about it more than once. Believe me.
Maybe, if you want some advice, maybe talk to Teresa and maybe develop an Omega. You don't have to beat on him, but an Omega is an important aspect of a pack that most people overlook.
She'll nod. I'm kind of hoping that when we go back there for Luna's challenge, that we might get to see a very good example as to why we need an Omega in our pack.
Are you going back home, are you?
To 10 point.
Oh boy.
Right. She's a very good Omega. It's just the way that she handles things is not my pack style. So I'm hoping to get different examples.
He'll nod. He'll nod. No, that's fair enough. There's different methods to Omegas. There's different methods to anything in the nation, but it is important. He will take one of the cigarettes out of his mouth and pop it in 10 points mouth, lighting it.
Yep.
When we talked to the spirit, so Alana could have her hands back, Spirit told her that if she wanted to challenge again for Adrian, she had to go home.
Oh, mate. You look off in the distance. You do me a favor when you're there? You whirl around.
Of course.
You smile warmly and wickedly. Do you know, remember that fella that I bet up when I was very young?
I do.
Will you tell him Aiden Lynch made fucking Fostern? And tell him my name's Tamer of fucking Dragons for me? Let that sink in.
She smiles a very wide smile, and she nods for you.
Grand, because I'm going back there for my Adrian challenge, and I'm going to walk around that set like a fucking king. And then he like taps her on the shoulder, merrily.
Well, if you happen to need any help outside of your pack, let me know.
Oh, of course. And he'll nod. So 10 points as he looks over at her. Do you wanna stay, or do you wanna Do you want to work more with Saoirse, or do you want to? What do you want to do? You know, wink at her playfully.
Yeah, and 10 Point has gotten a proper cherry going on the cigarette, and if Aiden doesn't already have one going, we'll offer it back. Assuming that she's acting as a cigarette starter.
Yeah, he'll offer it. He'll take a smoke, yeah, and then hand it back to her. Do you want to stay with Saoirse, or what do you want to do?
And she kind of glances between them and then back the direction of the cabin. I can continue, Raya.
Well, you two girls have fun. You know, he'll do this little, you know, like meek little side to side jiggle. And I'm gonna get some sleep.
All right. Sleep well. I'll. Where do you want me to leave this when I'm done?
Just give it to 10 Point. She'll take good care of her. You know, he looks at 10 Point like, you fucking better take care of her. You know, just there.
Hey, 10 Point has always taken good care of Darcy. Thank you very much.
And then he will, you know, give Saoirse kind of like the hair ruffle, which like sends her hair flying everywhere. And with the cigarette still in his mouth, we'll walk over, bend down towards 10 Point, pop the cigarette out, put it in as like a bit of smoke. He like blows it in her face, and we'll, you know, walk off merrily.
Saoirse kind of shakes her head at that, like whatever. Before she does anything more to 10 Point, she'll look at her very seriously. So everything's all right between you two now.
Doesn't help that after the parting bit, 10 Point looks practically. I mean, obviously her affection for Aiden isn't romantic in any shade, but she still looks practically dreamy as he's walking off. So happy. And she offers this like kind of just blissed out nod.
Saoirse smiles. I told you. Give him a little time. Oh, god damn it, Torna.
But she, oh god. But she kind of nods lightly again. Thank you, Raya. He's never been so angry before that he commanded me not to speak, not to be in his presence. I thought that
I'm glad that I could help.
this was much like being removed from the pack. It was one step away.
She'll nod. And that's a scary feeling, for sure. And she'll actually, she'll step forward and give 10 Point a little bit of a hug.
And 10 Point kind of curls into and will even one arm return the offered hug. When I took the scar, I was afraid of dying. But when he chased me away from the pack, it was worse.
Then she takes a deep breath and steps back. But it's better now, and
it is
to be out of your pack. But seriously, I'm glad that I was able to help. I don't like to see my friends hurting. Not in the not fun way, and she kind of gives a little bit of a
little heft.
Yeah. She starts swinging the shillelagh around again.
And she kind of dares a little bit of a cheeky grin. Physical pain passes, Raya.
That it does, especially with us. Doesn't last nearly as long. But emotional hurt, pain, it can last a really long time, if not forever.
It leaves more scars more often. And there's no Talon to make that go away.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
And Tim Point is confidently upright again and looking almost expectant, especially with the hefting and the swinging.
Oh yeah, Saoirse's now circling again, swinging the shillelagh around, and swing. At 10 points side again.
Yep.
Because for some reason, she just kind of likes that spot. Funny. And doesn't do anything.
It's
kind
just
of
enough to, yeah, just enough to clip. Enough to make contact, but not enough to really leave more than a mild sting.
Saoirse wrinkles her nose.
10 Point even takes a glance back. She hasn't been spinning this time around, just kind of keeping an eye and an ear on her. So she takes a glance back to ensure that there's not some sort of faltering in Saoirse's face or anything like that.
Part of her probably thinks that Aiden being there probably feeds her a little bit. So she has to find it within herself. So she thinks for a moment. And
don't forget to take things like flank and rear if you're walking around her. Do it shamelessly.
Oh yeah, that. So, and she like okay, he's not here. It's just me and her. Actually, probably do a little bit more to her if I wanted to. Nobody's here to watch.
Definitely takes on a knowing smile as she starts mumbling and kind of psyching herself up, and turns her head forward again to kind of dare her to go for it, especially when she's getting around the back.
Still, I'll take that rear bonus.
Do it.
And smack the living shit out of her. Hopefully it does some fucking damage this time. Nope. Nope, it doesn't. Fuck. Discord hates me right now. So she kind of gives. Maybe she's trying to scare 10 Point a little bit. And she walks around, she rears back, and she does just like this little tappy tap on her butt. with the shillelagh.
Definitely kind of like startles a glance back, like, what, really? Like, she didn't expect this of you. How dare.
And Saoirse's just smiling really wide, almost trying to convey almost this innocent, like, what? I didn't do anything.
Those are not the sweetmeats we're talking about, ma'am.
I at least need to make it funny. So what is the difficulty for the kidneys?
For the kidneys, you could get behind her to do it, and then it would cancel out the +2 for aiming. So then it would be 6 from behind.
That's 2 to damage, right?
2 into damage.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, this time she's just gonna be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go for it. And
Gets 2. And then +2
With
from the
2
weapon, +2 from the aim.
So my strength +5.
Oh, she does it!
Go.
And none
She's
of it
gonna
is
take at least
soaked.
one. So Saoirse gets this really just wicked smile and look on her face after the tappy tap on her butt. She just and whacks 10 point right in the kidneys.
Yep. And on impact, that would have been a really nasty hit regardless, but smacking her right into that permanent bruising, that deeply blotched area, it sends 10 point. Not only like she lets out a sharp yipe, sharper than she usually gives, and kind of buckles forward in response. She'll end up probably crumpling down onto her side, kind of curled up in pain. Because one can't really curl around their back, but
Saoirse lets out this satisfied, it's kind of this sinister, satisfied laugh. And she'll say to herself, "Oh, that's better." And on the next one, I will spend rage, and she's gonna hit the kidneys again.
Don't forget that prone bonus.
Oh yeah, since she's
So you're
now
back to
prone.
4.
Two successes again, so still only 7 dice for damage again.
Only 7 dice.
Only 7
thank
dice.
God.
And only one more.
That one is
But I got rage.
somehow.
Okay, but this is gonna be 2 in quick succession because
Yes, it is.
Rage. Oh, God damn it! Fucking Discord hates me. It likes me in combat. It hates me when we're doing this bullshit. Oh, but there's 4. Oh.
And 2 of it's soaked, but she still lets out another very satisfying yelp because, well, she's getting smacked in organs that are permanently damaged. It's any wonder she doesn't like pee blood after this shit.
Since 10 point is down, Saoirse just gives 2. The first one doesn't hurt that bad, but the second one just fucking, yeah, she wails into her. And Saoirse, the laugh is a little louder now. And
And yeah, at that point she's pretty beat. She's wheezing her breaths painfully.
Saoirse will be like, all right, she's down, and she's hurt. Maybe I'll give one more swing and then call it night. So she'll do one more kidney shot. Two successes. Oh, that might knock her out.
Good. Thankfully, it does not. It puts her back up at 5.
Oh, okay.
So, because she's healing 1 level each turn.
Yes.
This is bashing.
Yep.
But yeah, it still pops her back down at 5. It's still, even if it's only 1 point of damage, it's still another, like, weak yelp. And by now, 10 Point has curled herself up, which is not really conducive to protecting her back, but is a pretty good indication of her current state of mind.
Saoirse she'll stop and she'll get down and she'll rub 10 Point's back and ruffle her hair. That's enough for today.
And yeah,
You've been through a lot. It's time for you to go rest.
the relief shows pretty immediately once she gets down and actually sets the hand on her back and then on her head. And she'll, with even a little bit of a pause for her body to knit, be breathing a bit easier by the time her hair's ruffled, offering a tiny nod. Thank you, Raya.
You're welcome. I'm not quite that monstrous yet. And she just kind of gives this half serious, half not serious look to 10 Point when she said that. But if she wants help up, she'll help her up and she'll walk her back to the cabin with an arm around her.
And yeah, she may not need it or necessarily ask, but she will, if the assistance blah, 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 is offered, will accept it. As far as getting herself up, and with a moment to kind of stretch and wince, she'll by time they've gotten a little bit into walking back, and she'll be walking steadily again. Kind of breathing in a relieved, deep breath. Just like, oh, finally, I can fill my lungs all the way.
I am really glad that you and Aiden are on good terms again.
So am I, Raya. An Omega or a menace without pack and purpose has precious little value to the nation.
She'll nod.
And 10 Point will actually ease in and give her a wordless but very, very thankful little urgent squeeze.
Saoirse will smile. I look forward to spending more time with you and Aiden.
As do I, Raya. We've been kept to our own devices for too long.
Or Fianna, we should stick together.
We should.
And when they get back to the cabin, Saoirse will set the shillelagh down and she'll give 10 Point a proper hug.
At some point we'll return it because, yeah, Saoirse's one of those people she can do that with. It's the weirdest combination of being reassured because she's dressed traditional enough and likewise reassured that she's not quite so much.
Yeah, for sure, right? She's a good balance between the two. Saoirse will, she'll give her a good squeeze with the hug and she'll ruffle her hair. And she'll say, I'll see you around. I need to go spend time with my pack now. I haven't been around the last couple of days.
Of course, Rhea. I will not forget the kindness.
Don't forget to take care of Darcy.
Of course not.
Give Aiden a hug for me.
Yes, Rhea.
Thank you. See you later. Fearless protector.
And she kind of grins. Offers a more appropriate, more like, etiquette fueled little nod. Until next time, Rhea.
Saoirse smiles and she turns to leave Sept and go home.
And with her fading off and Aiden well inside and doing Lord knows what with his wife, 10 Point will take up the shillelagh. We'll take some time to give it some maintenance and care. And while she is left to her own devices, we will say thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching. And we'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.